The next panel features two of the most unusual of the companions, who will hopefully be less unusual in real life. And they are Mark Strickson and Bowerman.
If I nod off, will you just keep it, please? I should explain I came to New Zealand 3 days ago. So midnight is midday, you see what I mean. So it's now, well, it's now about midnight, so there we are.
Everyone has their pen.
I should have been having a pint about 7 hours ago.
Well, just
5 o'clock's a good time for me to have a pint.
Well, I was going to ask how long you've been in the country, but I think you're 3 days.
Yeah, no, we got here by Sunday. Yeah, I've got a 6-month-year-old, 6-month-old baby, and it's very difficult to explain to the baby that it's now the day is night and night is day. So on top of the jet lag, I've got a baby that's waking up at midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then by the time he gets 5 o'clock, he just wants to play. I mean, you give up, you just get up, you know. So yeah.
So yes, you just can't. I did push to get two of you on stage together because I believe you've known each other for many years. Can I ask how long?
23 years.
Yeah, really. We were, of course, children.
I was people.
We both got together at the Salisbury Playhouse, which is a rather, actually very tiny thing, regional theatre at Wiltshire, and we were in the studio theatre doing an adaptation of a book called The Shepherd's Life, where we played about 78 different characters and played lots of musical instruments.
Very tiring.
More time. We played that, especially for Mark, because he played a character called Oswald in Ghosts by Ibsen. It's a very serious musical.
This is a very, very long play, right? Which I would not recommend you go and see. And it's a tour de force part for a young male actor, and he dies of hereditary syphilis in the last. It takes 25 minutes to it. It is a nightmare part because even if you start at 7:30, you're unlikely to get a drink from the bar at the end because it goes on so ruddy long, this play. And on one particular night, a gentleman died in the front row in the last act, and I'd been going 15 minutes. I mean, I'd already wet myself. I was dying, right? And I only had 5 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go. And I had to sort of stop and say, I'm really sorry, someone's been very ill. I mean, I knew he'd be very ill, because he got up and went, and collapsed. And so they asked, I said, we're going to have to stop, blah, blah. And so we stopped for 20 minutes. By this time, it's already 11:05 or something. And they asked the audience what they wanted to do. Did they want to continue from where we'd stopped, or did they want to start the act again? And the buggers wanted me to start the act again! It was like 10 to midnight by the time I got out of there. The other funny story that happened on that was Lisa, the play is a very important part in the play, is the maid. And that's what Lisa was playing. And I was supposed to fancy that fancy. And so she goes off stage, and Oswald has this line, she looks and she goes, look at the way she moves. Right? It's like lusting after her. She goes on. But unfortunately, this was fine for a few nights, but then Lisa decided she was going to go riding in the day in the New Forest. And she fell off the horse. And she had a neck brace on and a limb. And then she managed to take the neck brace off for the show, because she couldn't actually move her head. Right? And so I had to come in this thing and so look at the way she moves.
Chair at the same time. It wasn't a very good manoeuvre. In fact, the irony was that I actually almost put me off riding for life, and I blagged my phone in the Doctor Who job, which I did. I needed to ride, and after that accident in Salisbury, I didn't really want to ride again. In fact, when I went for the interview for Survivor those years ago, and the director said, can you ride? I went, yes, fine. And I was trying to think, what on earth have I said? I just had these terrible memories of this horse bolting underneath me. And I actually rang the director of the evening. I said, when I said I could ride, And he said, what do you mean? I was going to give you the job. So I went off and went to the stables where they got all the horses from. And of course the horses there, and the horses in the New Forest are slightly different. And the horse I rode was a film star, in fact a bigger star than any of us really. So I was somewhat rude.
Don't know if you remember King's Demons when we had horses, we had jousting, right? And there was a fantastic horse called Jasper, right? And Jasper was the main horse that these guys used, the professionals, to do this jousting. But Jasper was just such a huge character. He didn't like doing more than one take. and he knew where the camera was. So he'd go down like this and he'd look at the cameras.
It's exactly the same thing as the one I had. JNT was directing sort of the second unit of the one that I was doing, and we did this tracking shot, and the horse was going. They're terrible. Such prima donnas.
But if you don't get, you see, now the other thing was, we were the one where Janet was the May Queen. What was that one called? The Awakening, yeah. In that, when she's pulled by horse and cart to the lich gate in front of the church, right? It's covered in flowers, and they didn't get professional. They got professional horses. They got horses from the local riding stables, right? Now, if you know anything about riding stable horses, they follow each other. So they put one of the horses on the cart, which was pulling Janet, and of course that stopped outside the church. The other horses went under the lich gate. And then the horse pulling the cart decided, I'm going to go where the other horses went, and pulled the cart with Janet through and completely destroyed the set. So yeah, horses, yeah.
Horses don't.
Never work with animals, and look what I've ended up doing.
He was just saying you didn't mean it.